Hello, Jeanette. How are we doing? And here we are. It's a bank holiday Monday. As you can see on the picture, it's a bit cloudy, but it is mild. It's 19 degrees, so it's not cold. I'm sat here with my windows down and my doors open, and as you can hear, the birds are twittering, so they're happy. And that's about it. Certainly not cold, that is for sure. Certainly isn't cold. Just messaging a few people. Excellent. Interesting to see how long it works. To see if it cuts me off like it's been doing. Don't forget, if you're new here, subscribe and hit that thumbs up. Double tap that screen. Doesn't cost nothing. You won't get an arthritic finger. And don't forget, if you're old as the hills, also double tap the screen. Oh dear. Hello, Heather. How we doing? What's the crack? What's that? Bank Holiday Monday crack. Is it a Bank Holiday Monday for you as well? I think it is, isn't it? I think you share the same bank holidays as we do. Just finished work. Oh, excellent. Just finished. That's good. Hello, Dedicane. How are we doing? I've been playing with that thing again, Jeanette. That Gemini. I love it. We're doing all sorts earlier on with it. I even turned Cat into a monster. Monster Mia. Yeah, I turned her into a giant white lion. Yeah, it's easy done. Problem is you run out of do's. You do that many and then it kicks you out for a day. I even set up another channel I did just so I could use that Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's good fun. I like it. Hello, Bria. How are we doing? Hello, I'll be back. I'll be back. Ah, you gotta love it. That's my Gemini channel. I'll be back. Oh yeah, it's Star Wars Day today. May the Fourth be with you. Oh, that's the Cyborg one. Yeah, Cyborg. Yeah. Hello, Gislanerius. How we doing? Gislanerius. How's it going? There's a name. Yeah. I can tell you that train is going to Windermere in the Lake District. I've been saying that to all the customers where it made the 4th be with you. You should have got a stormtrooper's helmet. May the 4th be with you. Didn't get into the final station until around 10, with it being so behind. Yeah. Well, up here there weren't any trains running yesterday because unfortunately somebody decided to take their own life in Chorley. So I were going to go live yesterday, but there were so many services cancelled. I thought it's not worth it. Hello, Lady Sky. How we doing? Sadly, somebody committed suicide in the Chorley area. So from about 1 till 6 p.m, all the trains were cancelled. Glad to hear it, Lady Sky. Glad to hear it. What a horrendous way to go. Well, it's not an horrendous way to go, but God forbid. Can't be good for it, driver. Yeah, that's the only problem. When you do loads of shooting and videos, it takes you forever to edit. I quite like editing, but if I do just a random video, I just cut it into segments, 10-second segments, and then I shuffle them so it doesn't run in sync, if you know what I mean. Because I think when you see a video and it runs in sync, it looks a bit, I don't know, a little bit lackluster. So what I always do, say I got 3 minutes, I chop it into 30 10-second segments, and I put the you know, the what do you call it? I forgot what you call it. The little transition in between each segment, and it keeps it more interesting, I think, rather than just having it as a running thing, if you know what I mean. Had a triple-headed manor on Saturday. Excellent. Hello, AB7G3N. How are we doing? If for some reason the stream does go off, just bear with me. I'll resume it as fast as I can because it's been a bit funny over the past few days, cutting off and just for some reason YouTube just crashing and dumping off. I don't know why. I've no idea. Friday got to look in one of the signal boxes. Brilliant. I went in the one at rugby years ago. My God, that had me bamboozled. Never seen so many knobs and buttons I didn't dare touch out in case I caused a crash. Like mission control. Just a mass of red and green buttons. don't even know if there's any freights or anything running today. No idea. I haven't actually looked at the map. In fact, I'll have a quick look now while I'm talking. See if there's anything about. I see 72. That's not one. Something approaching. No, it's not. It's just. Oh, the hell that is. I don't know to York. There isn't anywhere. Not much about at the moment. I'm just scanning the train maps. Very quiet, I'm afraid. Very quiet. Hello, David Morris. How are we doing? Hendricks, Fishton, Floyd. No, there's no bullet trains here, I'm afraid. You're in the wrong country. This is the United Kingdom. Hello, Cosimo Preet. God, it's hot. It's bloody warm. There's a few cars pulled up, which makes me suspicious that there's something coming, but I can't find anything on the train diagrams. I'm looking. Can't find anything. Hello, Freddy's Fab Trains and Planes. Yes, I'm in the United Kingdom. I'm on the West Coast Main Line, and I'm about 2 miles south of Preston. How's that? And amazingly, I can see a bit of blue sky in the clouds. In fact, I think you can as well. Don't forget, if you're new here, double tap the screen. All you do is do this. Watch 14, tap tap 15. Simple as that. That's all you do. Tap tap. Costs nothing. And subscribe if you're not already subscribed, because that also costs nothing. But it helps, so people tell me. I was too tired to go for final day of the gala today. Yeah. I don't blame you. I don't mind them galas, but the thing that annoys me with them, there's just too many people there. And I went to one well, I've been to a few actually, but I always remember one at Keighley, and it was just ridiculous the amount of people with her. And I thought, God, I've paid for this, and I can't even get a decent shot in. I felt like shoving a few people off the edge at platform. And I was at Howard Station and had my tripod set up perfect. And this train was passing, and a guy just come and stood right in front of me. I couldn't believe it. We did have words. He left with a flea in his ear, did that fella? I could not believe it. I was just so ignorant. It was blatantly obvious what I was doing. And he come and stood right in front of me. All I could see were the words Carrymore, her backsack. Oh, I was fuming. Absolutely fuming. Hello, Tommy. How are we doing? Hello, UK Whistles. Yes, we're still in Preston. Well, just outside of Preston. In fact, we're more at Leyland than Preston, but won't split hairs. And the junction you can see straight ahead is the junction onto the East Lancs line. Not that I think there's anything going to come around that corner. Like I say, if it does cut off, I will resume it straight away, because it's been a bit funny over these past few days. The YouTube app, I don't know why, just cutting off for some weird reason. It's very annoying. I've tried resetting and reinstalling and God only knows what. Started watching a new series, Nothing. Oh yeah, I'll have a look at that, Heather. What's it on? What's it on? Half the cast of Blue Lights are in it. Oh, excellent. That's one of my favourites is Blue Lights. I think it was the second or the third episode. I was devastated when Jerry got killed. You know, I honestly really were devastated. And I'm thinking, so what am I doing? It's just an actor, but I was just devastated that one of my favourite characters got killed off so early. Really bugged me, did that. I hate it when they do that. You know, you get a character that you really like and then they kill them off early on in the series. It's one of the few series that I always pick up on and watch right the way through. Tend to binge watch them. On Channel 4, I'll look for that. Yeah, I tend to binge watch. I like that. That's probably one of my top favourites is Blue Lights. And there's another one in Scotland called Shetland, and I like that, with that Scottish actor, and I can't think of his damn name. He pops up in a few things. I think he's called something Henshaw. I think he's called something Henshaw, and I quite like that as well. And it's called Shetland, and I always watch that. Just had beans on toast, Tommy. Excellent. I haven't had beans on toast for years, but it's funny today. Earlier on, I did have cheese on toast, and I put some red onions on it as well, and it was lush. I call it live on your own cheese on toast, because I don't do it under grill or anything. I just I toast 2 slices of bread in toaster, slice some cheese up, nice and thick, and then I cut a bit of onion and sprinkle it on, and then pop them together and put them on a plate and nuke them in microwave for about 50 seconds or so it melts, and there you go. I call it single person's cheese on toast. There's no way I'm messing around and messing with grills and God knows what just for the sake of one person. I know, it comes out really nice. Especially on brown bread. I prefer it on brown bread. Don't know why. Just has that bit more flavour. But when I go home tonight, I'm going to nip in Tesco's. Sounds very Jamie Oliver, yeah. because later on in Tesco's they have some bargains. My God, do they? And I'm going to nip in because there's one literally a mile away from where I am here, and I'll nip in, and they always have a trolley. Annoys me, the trolley that has all bargains on, it's after the tills, and I'm thinking, so you pay for your stuff, then you're leaving, and you see this trolley full of bargains. So I always divert now to bargain trolley. I think, what a stupid place to put the bargain trolley after it tills on your way out. Because you think, bloody hell, I'd have had that. But you think, oh, I can't be bothered going back to till. You know. So I always go to bargain trolley first, because they always have them massive tiger loaves on. Baked in store tiger loaves that are on the date. Well, you just chuck them in freezer if you want. That's it. That's even easier than mine. I put it on a sauce and I give it a few seconds in microwave, and then when I can see cheese rolling out the edge, I know it's just right. And I've started putting onion on it, red onions, and oh my God, it doesn't half liven it up. Oh yeah, honestly, it's great. The bargains they have, and it always tends to be bread related bargains, but I've started learning now. Just chuck it in freezer, and you're good to go. And them tiger bloomer loaves, whatever you call them like big round things with stripes on, they're excellent. Tin of soup, and rip a few lumps of that off, you're away. I mean, I love tomato soup. I just love tomato soup. And it's 39p's Tesco's own brand tomato soup, and it's absolutely lovely, lovely jubbly. Rip a big chunk of a tiger bloomer thing off, and a tin of tomato soup, you're away. Brilliant. And they've also an offer on for pot noodles as well in Tesco. 2 king pot noodles, not one, but 2 king pot noodles, the larger ones, for £2. And normally they're £1.46 each then. But obviously you have to have a club card. It's the club card price. And they do one called sticky rib flavour now, and that's nice. Sticky rib flavour pot noodle. Yeah. Oh, there's nothing better than the smell of bread that's in oven, no doubt about it. You go into Little Sainsbury's, and they have a baking room at back. And you go in the morning, and the whole shop smells of baking bread. Yeah, I got it, yeah, my club card, yeah. I was desperate for that, because I was getting ripped off left, right and centre. Hello, Walter, how are we doing? No, it's pretty quiet today, Walter. Yeah, quite quiet today, Walter, and yesterday, well, there were nothing about, because there was a fatality at Chorley. I think somebody committed suicide. Eggy bread, yeah, that's another one. Correct, Jeanette. Eggy bread. I've had that a few times. Yeah, it was quite, so I didn't bother yesterday, Walter, because of that. Nearly every train between 1 and 6 p.m. were cancelled because of the incidents, which were between Chorley and Bolton somewhere, but it was certainly somebody got hit by a train. Most likely, I presume it were suicide. I don't know. It tends to be the thing. But yeah, Eggy bread, that is superb. Hello, Welsh train enthusiasts. How are we doing? Bank holiday here, so it'll be large Domino pizza walk-in Monday special for €10. Excellent. Yes, I'm fine, thanks, Welsh. Hello, Harold Muller. How are we doing? Yes, yes, Walter. I'll cherish that. It's on my desk at the side of my computer, it is. And I'll think of something to write in it, I will. I was showing people on the live. I did a live. I was on a live panel the other night with a few people, and I showed them the notebook that your grandson had made. It's excellent. I think he's my youngest fan. Don't know. I know. I've never heard nothing of her, Tommy. She's just disappeared off the face of the earth. I don't actually know her address. If I knew where she lived, I'd pay her a visit, or pop a little note through her door or something. Because you don't know what's going on, do you? So I'd probably just pop a note through her door. I won't go banging on her door. But I don't even know where she lives. I know what town she lives in, what area of the town she lives in, but she lives on the outskirts of my town, only 5 minutes away, but I don't know the exact street or house. So I don't know. I've been following her on Facebook to see what she's up to, but no action. So I don't know. Something might have happened. You don't know, do you? Because I know her mum's been ill for quite a long time. Her mum's been struggling with cancer for the past 12 months, so that may be something to do with it. I just don't know. That's why I won't persist in contacting her. You know what I mean? Sometimes when people are having a bad time, they don't want bugging, do they? So she knows where I am. So if she does start again or start doing it again, she can soon contact me. Because I must have been one of her best customers, because I bought the full menu, every week. You don't realise how much of a deal it is until you're having to go to shop and buy your own stuff. You know what I mean? That's it, Tommy. I don't know. But when you think about it, when you're having to nip to shop and you calculate all these little nips to shop, you think nothing of it. Oh, just go to shop, you spend £8 there, £5 there, £6 there, £8 there. Added up over a week, you've spent a bloody fortune on nothing. I will have been, yeah, probably. I watched it. I tried to watch everybody's. Shorts always do well, Welsh, generally. The secret with a short is you've got to look at your analytics and look at whose your viewers are. And if it says that the majority of your viewers are in the USA, think about the time you start it then. You know what I mean? Because they're behind us. So take that into consideration. If your viewers are in India, think about that. And then you've got to think, when are they viewing in their day? You know what I mean? What's their sort of settling down to what I call doom scroll on YouTube? And most people tends to be tea time onwards. That's why. That's why I always put my shorts on around dinner time. If you notice, they always crack off around 12 noon. I think it's 12 noon. Because most of my audience, I think it's something like 55% Indian, 30% UK, and then bits and bats at the rest of the world. So obviously I cater for the Indian audience. So I think to myself, well, they're in front of us. They're 5.5 hours in front of us. So I work on that they're going to be viewing mainly tea time onwards. Because India's a very busy place. I can't see them having time to do anything during the day because they scurry about at a flipping absolute rocket speed, don't they? Everything happens fast in India. So my theory is that my viewers will be settling down after tea time watching. Hello Georgina, how are we doing? How's life in Cumbria? So that's my theory, but I do look at the analytics a hell of a lot, Welsh, because to try and get my head around it. You know, because you can put one video up and nobody views it, and then you can put another video up that's not particularly good and get thousands of views, and I just seems to be no rhyme or reason to it. You know, it's very strange. That's why I'm always poring over these analytics. In fact, I do it too much really. When I'm sat there on my own late at night, I'm just poring over these analytics pages, trying to work out why views drop. I mean, my YouTube views have dropped a lot over the past month, you know, a terrible amount, but I think that's partially because I've been inconsistent. But you know, problem is fuel's got that expensive. I can't afford to do it every. Well, I can, but I don't want to spend the money on going out every day live streaming because you know you're talking. It's like £15 a day, between £10 and £15 a day in fuel, and at the current prices, it's ridiculous. And YouTube likes consistency, so that's why my views have dropped off last month, because I've not been as consistent as I usually am. This is why I always say I'd love to live outside at railway track where I could just wander to the bottom of my garden, pop a camera up. That'd be great. Yeah. I know what you mean, Welsh. It's difficult. I can't fathom it out. I'm not thick, but I'm not bright either. But I try my best to work things out. Well, yes, that's also part of it, Stuart. Yeah, weather. There's all sorts of contributing factors, but there's definitely one. If you're consistent, and especially if you keep to the same times of uploading your videos, that's why I always make sure my videos, shorts, go on at the same time every day. That's a big thing, because the YouTube algorithm remembers, you know what I mean? But if you're doing live streams, you know, you've got to do them. That's it. And that's another thing, Welsh. I look at mine all the time, and you know, every video I have, hello, John Sharp. Yeah, every video I have, I look at the analytics, and 70% of viewers aren't even subscribed. You know what I mean? I have the same problem. You look at your analytics and you find that all your viewers aren't subscribers, you know. My fish tank is currently emptying, cleaning. Excellent. I'm going to get a fish tank, Stuart. I've been looking on Facebook Marketplace for, I want a corner one that fits in a corner where my television used to be. Because I never use that telly, never switch it on, never done out with it. All my TV viewing, I either do it in my bedroom when I go to bed, or I do it on my computer sat at my desk. So I'm going to put a fish tank in that corner, but it wants to be a, you know, corner one on a cabinet. Yeah, well, mine's same Welsh. About 70 odd% of my viewers on each video are not subscribed. Hello, Tanra Tipax Meteob. Tanrat Hypax Meteob. Sent you a like, thank you. YouTube's a hard one to understand, it really is. It really is. Hello, Becky, how we doing? Yeah, there's definitely something going on, Walter. Somebody, well, yeah, somebody got hit by a train yesterday in Chorley, around the Chorley area, because literally everything was cancelled from 1 p.m. Well, the incident apparently happened at 1 p.m. From 1 p.m. till about 6, 7 o'clock at night, every train was cancelled. So something bad happened, and it was somebody got hit by a train. Whether it was suicide or accident, I don't know, but somebody definitely got hit by a train. I would imagine they died. There's not many people survive getting hit by a train, is there? And so I were going to stream yesterday afternoon, but I thought there's no point if there's no trains running. Whereabouts are you, Becky? I always forget where you are. Are you in the US? Oh, Bingley, right. Bingley. The train tourists. Hello there. With an LNER 800 series as a thing. There's a train station just down the road from my house. Excellent. Right, a huge presence at Sheffield yesterday, right? When I set off today, I've literally just got to the end of my road and I could hear this racket. I thought, what the hell's this racket? You know what I mean? I thought, what the hell is this racket? You know what I mean? I don't want to hear. What the hell? What's happening now? Hello, Ben 2000 Trains, how we doing? GWGs, I forgot what I was saying then, I got distracted by chat. Can somebody remind me what I was saying? I forgot. Chat distracted me. Hello, GW Geese. Somebody playing tennis, I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, that's it. When I was back, when I just left, when I was just leaving my house today, I could hear all this music. And I thought, what the hell's that racket? And this double-decker, open-top double-decker bus came past with loads of people on it with Union Jack saying, "Make Britain great again." I don't know what all that was about. Six V75. It's a freight of D March passing Newport. Excellent. Yeah, I was slapping. I was getting a bit confused with the finger tapping there on screen. Sun's shining on my screen. I didn't know what I was tapping on, so I undid it, thinking I'd accidentally hit the wrong person. Somebody came in, some smart ass, and said, "This is exciting." Can't be doing with smart asses saying things are exciting, and you'll go and look at their channel, and there's nothing on their channel. Could be Tommy, yeah. Yeah. The Darwin tourist bus. Yeah. I've never seen it before because I were in two minds whether to follow it, thinking, is there one of these protests going on somewhere? You know, chances are there's probably one being on somewhere, and it were just on its way. But there were loads of people on top deck wafting Union Jacks about and St George's flags and stuff. It was like a pale blue colour, the bus. Can't remember what it said all the way outside of it, but when I get back home, I'll have a look on CCTV to see exactly, what if it was a party, because it's elections on Thursday, isn't it? So it'll be something to do with that, I would imagine. And they'll be doing well if they can find me. That is for sure. Yeah, that's same up here, is that Welsh. The only DB cargoes we get up here is 66s, and biggest part of them are on hire to GBRF. When you look at the actual head code, it says DB cargo on hire to GBRF. Or DRS as well, that's another big one, but GBRF seems to be the biggest. Yeah, I don't know where the bus were from, but I'll find out tonight when I get home. I'll look on CCTV. Worked in Trinidad and got fired for fiddling his overtime and working from home. Excellent. It's a retired snowplow driver in Trinidad. Good fun, that, snowplow driving. Once, Tommy, and what an uproar it caused. You've never seen where pathetic it were. It really were, and I got a bit, I wouldn't say outcast, but I was a bit treated a bit like a leper afterwards. It was unbelievable. It was pathetic. You know, for a week or two afterwards, I weren't spoken to by a lot of people for some odd reason. It was nothing to do with me. But what I'll tell you what happened is, it was Boxing Day night. It were. I worked for an agency, even though I worked for council. I was through an agency, and the rule's simple that agency drivers aren't allowed to, do extra overtime on non-working days. Are you with me? So they couldn't ring you up and ask you to, because the snowplow, the bin wagon drivers did the snowplow. That was their job, and obviously I was a bin wagon driver, and it were. Let's let this train pass. And it were Boxing Day, 2004, 2003, somewhere around there, that neck of woods. I can't remember the exact year. And the guy in charge, the gaffer, rung me up and says, it's snowing like hell over here. He says, can you do gritter? I said, yeah. So I did gritter. And obviously you get paid and you get a day's holiday in lieu and everything. It's a good do and it's a good crack. It's a change all night, and it's snow and what have you. It's alright, it's a change. And then when I went back to work, they played Elsie. You can't have an agency driver driving grit truck, But none of them answered the phones. He rung me last. So how could you win on that one? There were like 6. How many bin wagon drivers were there? About 5, I think. There were 5 of us, I think, covered the whole area in bin wagons. Might have been 6. I can't remember. And he'd rung. He rung every single one up, and nobody answered. He rung all the council employees up, and nobody answered the phone. It was Boxing Day night. They'd all been in pubs or getting drunk and stuff or whatever. In fact, I'm surprised I weren't, to be honest. But around that time, we had young kids, you see, so I were, things were different. And they moaned like hell about it, and there was quite a bit of bother over that. There were actually. Not bother. It weren't bother for me. I just got, what's the word? Yeah, there you go. Jeanette sent to Coventry. That's it. Yeah, I was sent to Coventry for a week or two, and I kept saying to other people there, workers, the guys who worked on the bin wagon wheel, they were sound. They were all right. It were the other drivers that were bitchy because they'd missed out on this day in lieu and overtime payment. Hello, Nicola. X9W, how we doing? Catch you later, Welsh. Yeah. Work is only when I see work. I'm in my house. See you later. It was nice. Catch you later, Welsh. Yeah, they were funny about it afterwards, and I thought, how pathetic. And Gaffer said to me, he said, look, I rung you all up first and none of you answered. He says it was snowing like hell, I had to do summit. And that was it, basically. Tell you something, next time it snowed, they made sure they bloody answered. Correct. It was pathetic, it were. It was one of them sort of, I don't want to do it, but I don't want him to do it either scenarios. You know what I mean? Nobody wanted to do it. It was Boxing Day night. You know what I mean? And they didn't want to do it, but they were mad that I did it, you know. There were lots of bitchy like, there were lots of crazy bitchiness like that with council. I used to love working there, but there were a lot of bitchiness, you know. They brought out this new scheme. It was called Neighbourhood Pride. It was called, and it were a real cushy number. It were, and they got this new transit pickup thing, and all you did is cruised around back alleys, and if you saw like a microwave oven or a fridge or anything, you just picked it up. And I got that job, and a lot of people were a bit funny about that. I don't know why, but I got it anyway. That job, and it was a real cushy number, and as you got on top of it, you see, the number got cushier. You know what I mean? It improved. For the first few weeks, it were hard going because obviously the back alleys were flipping knee deep in crap, so I was toing and throwing back to tip because I was on my own. You know what I mean? But as time went by, it got easier because I got on top of it, and it got to a point where I would literally, there was nothing to pick up because I'd done it all. You know what I mean? You'd have just one load a day, so you'd just be cruising around all streets, peeping down back alleys to see if anybody had chucked a microwave, a toaster, or a telly, or whatever. You know what I mean? Staunch Labour supporter, because I can't stand them, Tommy. But you know, they didn't like, some other people didn't like that, but yet the job was there and they never put in for it. It were just weird. It was like, I don't want to do it, but you can't, sort of scenario. You know. And then agency ripped me off, which really annoyed me. They pulled the right stunt on me. And so I lost out big time then at council. Because they brought out this new scheme, this new recycling scheme. And they got these brand new wagons and everything. I know you like the Barrier Crosses film. Been watching a couple of videos over the weekend, came across 2 motels Doncaster. I'll do a screen grab of that and have a look at that. Motels Doncaster. Water pump depot north of both stations, yeah. They're good places to film the crossings. Yeah, when I worked for council, they started a new scheme and they got these new wagons. They were called curbsiders. They were like, and they brought out these, put all your bottles in these plastic tubs, all this sort of thing. We were right in the early days. So they needed 5 drivers. Bearing in mind, I worked for agency then, so I thought this is going to be great. This, if I can get one of these jobs and be paid by council instantly, I'm going to get more money. And agency rung me up on the Friday, and they said, "Oh, we need you to go to Scotland next week." I said, "Well, I'm at council." I said, "I'm okay here at council." They said, "No, they've rung us up and said they don't want you. They don't need you this week." I said, "You what?" He said, "Oh, council, they've rung up and said we don't need you." And I thought, well, that's bloody weird. They never said anything to me, and I got on all right with gaffers there, and I thought, that's weird. Why did they not say it to me? So I just thought, all right. I said, all right, fair enough, you know. And so I went to Scotland for a week, driving even a wagon with these mobility seats in it, you know, these seats that lift until. Anyway, that's not by the by. And I got back about after a week in Scotland, and agent says, "Oh, can you go back to council?" I said, "I thought you said they didn't want me." "Oh, they want you back now." So I went back to council, and the guy who in charge, he says, "Where were you last week?" I said, "What do you mean, where were I?" I said, "Agency said you didn't want me." He says, "Well, you missed," and he said to me, he says, "You missed out on a full-time job there." He says, "We've filled jobs now, we've got 5 new drivers." He says, "You could have had one of them jobs." I said, "Agency sent me elsewhere for a week and said that you didn't want me." I said, "Well, we never said that." So that was it, that was agency's trick. So I didn't get a permanent job, you see, so I stayed on their books, so that was it. That very day I just rung up and told them where to shove it, that agency. I'm not playing them games. They don't like you getting a full-time job, you know what I mean? Because obviously, if I mean, I've been with that agency for about 3 years, and if you're reliable, they like to keep you on the books. And yep, we've got a freight train coming out of the sidings at the East Lancs line. I weren't expecting that. You notice it's full of old railway track. Yeah, Becky, them are old tracks to them. They're not new. Them are old tracks that they've pulled up from somewhere because I don't even notice they were wooden sleepers. New tracks don't look like that. New tracks, the rails are all one continuous length and welded as they're laid. Them are old tracks that have been took up from somewhere. Them. They're wooden. Runs every day, that train, with bits and bats of track on back. God only knows where they're pulling them from. I can only presume it's up Scotland somewhere, I presume, because it comes every day, that engineer's train, because sometimes it's got cranes on back, old ballast, because they dig old ballast off, and I don't even know what they do with that ballast, you know, because, I mean, I wouldn't have thought it'd deplete in any way. I'd have thought they could just wash it or something, I don't know. But they seem to dig it up and put new down. There must be some reasoning behind it. Yeah, I got it, the link, Jeanette. I do like the videos are good at level crossings if you can find a good one. There's lots of level crossings around here. My favourite one's Moss Street, where it's still manually controlled by a chap, but there's not much exciting stuff goes through. The last video I did there was Tornado steam engine. Hello, Katrina Dickinson. How are we doing? I'm trying to remember where you are. Don't tell me. The Wirral. Am I right or am I totally wrong? Hello, Don Branscombe. How are we doing? Katrina, are you the Wirral or have I got it wrong? Don't know why, I just feel like you're around Liverpool where you're either Liverpool or America. Arkansas maybe, actually. Don't know. Hello. A steam train is coming on the 9th. Anon's live off. Libs off. Anon's libs off. How we doing? Don't forget, if you're new here, double tap that screen and hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you now. And there's actual sun's coming out here, believe it or not. Steam train on the 9th. Some of the ballast gets taken down to near me. They have a daily freight train, goes to Crewe, Norton, Fitzwarren, and the ballast is then sold on for a bit of funding for theirs. Alright. Yeah, I've often wondered, because, I mean, to me, ballast, what can go wrong with it? You know what I mean? It can only sink into ground. You know what I mean? You know, what else can happen to it? You know, it can only sink into ground. Hello, Manilo, how we doing? Cumbrian Mountaineer, right, yeah. Yeah, that's usually, we usually get that, and we get the Fellsman on a Saturday. Yeah, well, that Cumbrian Mountaineer, it'll be a diesel up past here where I am, and then they'll stick steam on at Preston, send it round with steam, and send it back with steam to Preston, and then they'll put diesel back on to tug it out. Depends where it's coming from, where it's originating from, but it's always somewhere down south, you know, somewhere south, not necessarily down south, but south of Preston. Yeah, I just can't understand what, you know, what. There's nothing can happen. Rock's rock. You know what I mean? It doesn't diminish. It doesn't. You know, just wondering why they. I always thought they could just chuck new on top of old, but they don't. They seem to. Well, I think they actually hoover it up. I think they have a machine that sucks it up. Because I've watched them tamp it. Ah, right, you're in Chorley. Got you. You're in Chorley. I don't know why I had in my head that first I thought I recognised the name and I thought you were in the Wirral. But no, you're in Chorley. Excellent. There was something bad happened in Chorley yesterday with the railways. He's train mad and we're based at Chorley. All right. I know Chorley really well. That used to be my postcode. I used to drive a wagon for UK pallets, and that was my area was Chorley. I used to do PR 26, PR 25, PR 6, PR 7, PR 8, and PR 9. Them were my postcodes, which were Leyland, Chorley, and Southport. So I know Chorley really well. I used to start in Leyland every morning, do a bit of Bamber Bridge as well. I sometimes picked up an odd PR5 as well. Well, I used to go Walton Summit, then into Leyland, then Chorley. Then I used to always exit Chorley and go to, I don't know what it's called, you go past Balshaw Lane railway station, you take a left and a right, and it takes you right down to the prisons and the back roads to Southport, and I used to go down that road. I want to say it was called Dauber's Lane, but I can't remember. Down that road, or it might even be called Southport Road, and then down to Little Hoole and Much Hoole and all that lot, and then hook a left and then go all the way down into, I used to go to a place called Banks first, do some deliveries at Banks, and then finishing Southport in afternoon. So I know Chorley really well. Really well. I used to deliver to a firm called Porter Lancastrian, that were in Chorley. And Canal Brow, is it called? Canal Brow is a big mill at top of there. You're going to Carnforth to see it. Excellent. Botany Brow. I remember that. Botany Brow. I used to go to hospital as well. Chorley Hospital, deliver there. And Botany Bay as well. I delivered there a lot when it was open. It's no longer open now, is it? Carnforth Steam Town. It's a few years since I've been there. I have been, but it's a while ago. It is for sure. It is for sure. I'm just looking at the rail map now. 2K62. What's that now? It's not a freight. I see 58. That's not much. Even though it's not sunny, it's a nice evening. Hello, Train Watch channel. How are we doing? Steam trains always get the best views. There's no doubt about it. I mean, that short I did of Sir Nigel Gresley coming through Leyland Station, and he blew his whistle all the way through. That were a good one. That's one of my all-time favourites. Is that short on my channel? Nigel Gresley going through Leyland, and he just unloads his whistle all the way through the station because of all people on platform. Did you see Gresley on the left? Well, that was probably the date I saw it, yeah. If you look on my channel, there is a short, and it's probably around that time coming through Leyland. I don't know when the next thing's due, Train Watch. There is stuff due. I know there's definitely a Barrow in Furness to Manchester Airport, because I've just seen it. It's currently on oh no, it's not. Currently on platform 4 at Preston. We've got a 9S77 in about 2 minutes. That's London to Euston to Glasgow Central. That's currently just at Exton Junction, which is Chorley. Yeah, Uzik put a couple of good videos up. I forgot his name. What's he called? Barry on the Rails, is it? Barry on the Tracks or something? He put a couple of videos up with some steamers on. I saw you at Leyland. Yeah, well, I was definitely there. I was definitely there when Sir Nigel Gresley came through. Yes, I've been at Leeds Bradford Airport. Yeah, because it came through in the evening, didn't it? About About 7:20 at night, something like that. Yeah, it gets busy, does Leyland, with people when there's a steam engine coming through. It gets very busy. It don't bite, yeah. I'm usually the one hobbling. I usually sit on the little wall at bottom at slope. That's my favourite spot. When you go down the little slope on platform 4, there's a little wall, and I always try and park myself on there if I can. When there's a steamer coming through, it gets a bit crazy. Barry on the Rails, that's it. Yeah, he put a couple of good steam videos up. Here's the Euston train. Well, it's quite mild here, and the sun is trying to poke through the clouds. If you look over there, well, you can see it on camera, there is blue skies ahead. It's not cold, that is for sure. Definitely not cold. Just setting up plugging a wire into my phone. It doesn't do anything daft like cut off or anything power wise. Don't think I need it actually, but I'll plug it in just as a battery, I think. Pardon me. Ready to be on the safe side. No, I'm just plugging my wire in. The cable. Hello, Jan Maranga. How we doing? We just heard out to Sanger. I told her I was live. We heard out of her tonight. I did send her a message. But, I don't know if she's read it or not. Well, she's been a bit off colour lately. She might turn up tonight at 9 o'clock, we know, for the bank holiday special. What's that mean, gold? Let's have a look at that. 10 super chat, alright, forget that. What's that nonsense? Super chat gold. When you're streaming, you keep getting YouTube suggestions popping up on the screen. And that was the Trans-Pennine Class 802. Hello, Geraldine. Geraldine Mahone. Geraldine. Oh, McMahon. Mahone. Am I saying that right? McMahon. Geraldine McMahon. How we doing? Sorry if I've pronounced your name incorrectly. Geraldine McMahon. McMahon. That's a tricky one to say, is that? McMahon. Yeah. Trying. How's it going, Geraldine? Geraldine McMahon. How's it going? Come back to us on the pronunciation if you can. where YouTube just puts everybody's name in now has made it really difficult. Instead of just putting the what people can do, if you go to your customize page and the second section down, you can actually change that to something more. You can change it to something more readable, you know, in the handle section, you know. McMahon, yeah. McMahon. Something McMahon, yeah. Yeah, it's pronounced Ma with a bit of a man. Sort of a delayed Ma, yeah. Getting it. What a racket. I don't know if you can hear that noisy motorbike. And there goes the Class 397 going to Glasgow Central. Yeah, it was very noisy. Hello, Nicholas. How are we doing? Nicholas 12418. How is it going? I'm facing north today. Facing north. He's Nicholas. Yes, I know he's Nicholas. He's Nicholas, yeah. There's a tree right in front of me. It's just full of these white flowers. I don't know what they are. They're just white blossoms of some description. It won't be long before all raspberries are coming out again. Yeah. Easy done, Jeanette, here. But no, I'm facing north. All these lines lead to Scotland. Apart from the ones on the right, under the bridge that go around the corner, around the bush. And they go to Yorkshire. I don't know what they are. They've just got white flowers on, lots of them. I remember last year these fences were just absolutely ram jam full of raspberries or blackberries or whatever they were. You should throw a jam sandwich at the next train. Excellent. Molecule Mind. You've got the right name there, brother. Molecule Mind. What a good name. I'm going to have a look at your channel. There's nothing there. Channel, no activity. Molecule mind. That's why, when you've got a molecule mind, just the one molecule in your head, why not chuck a jam sandwich? What a moron. Hawthorn blossom. Oh, fage, isn't it? How do you know that? You can't even see them. They're in front of me. Oh, crab apples, yeah. There's no cramps in any crab apples around here. But there's loads of these trees with white flowers on. So when I pulled up, I saw one of them little stoat things. It was like a rat that had been stretched. Had a long body, little legs, and it ran across the road. Like a sausage with legs. A big long sausage with legs. Hello, Banksy. How are we doing? Good to see you. Blue skies are approaching. Just chilling down at the daughter's. Excellent. I think Mum was supposed to be visiting me today, but I think they'll be disappointed because I'm not there. Ellenberg. Pretty exciting channel. Oh, yeah, it is. Let's have a look at your channel. Well, I'll discuss your channel. A lot of content. Do I detect a hint of sarcasm from Ellenberg? My mates haven't run me up actually. They sent me a message yesterday saying, "Oh, we'll be Bob round tomorrow," and there were no sign of them up until 3 o'clock. So I thought, I'm going. I'm off ski. Yeah. Yeah, I love the sarcastic visitors. They make comments, they say, "How boring, this is not much." And I always go to their channel to have a look and see what they're doing, and most of them have no subscribers and no content. But yet, no problem, Banksy. They come in and they criticise this, but then you go to their channel, no subscribers and no content. But yeah, they say this is boring and nobody wants to see it. Well, obviously people do, else they wouldn't subscribe and they wouldn't view. You know what I mean? See you later, Ellenberg. In fact, we won't see you later. You've just been booted. But nothing to see here. Yeah, there's nothing. There's a lot more here than what there is on your channel. I think that was just some silly little child. Yeah, and that's low as that now, Banksy. My views have dropped. I'm usually got a couple of hundred watching, and just past month my views have really dropped off. I don't know why. I think it's because I've not been as consistent as I usually am. But with rising fuel prices and stuff, you can't be gallivanting around every day, you know. You know what I mean? It's getting a bit pricey. Every time I go out, it's costing me like between 10 and 15 quid, you know. Start doing that a few times a week and it gets a bit of a do. And I think prices are going to go up again as well, because there's been some more nonsense, hasn't there, in that waterway, that Humaz or whatever it's called. I think there's been a bit of nonsense today. So I think prices are going to go up. They did drop a couple of pence, but I think they're going to go back up again now. It's just getting ridiculous. Yeah. Some people, yeah, you're right, Bria. Over 8 million views in 8 months speaks for itself. Yeah, well, I paid 188 last time I got diesel. I paid 188, but last week it went up to 191. But I think it's going to go up again now because correct, Banksy, you've got it. You've got it. And it's always the ones that don't do it that do all the spouting. I mean, I watch loads of live streams at nights, and it's just painful what people say and how nasty people are. It's just a big pool of nasty people. It's unreal. You know, they really need to get some hobbies going. You know. Blue skies. Yeah, morons. Correct, Jeanette. That's right. I don't mind anybody having what I call constructive criticism. Here comes a Class 390 going to London Euston. It's simple with me. I go onto a lot of live streams, and if they're doing something I don't like, I'm not interested in, then I don't watch. It's as simple as that. You know, I just think like I could click on something and somebody's making something on a potter's wheel, and I think, well, I'm not interested in that, so I don't watch. But yet, some people decide to say, I'd never dream of putting a comment in saying, what a load of crap this is. You know, because at the end of the day, everybody has different interests. I don't expect people, if they're not into this, just move on and go and find a video or a stream that you're into. But I'd never dream of putting a nasty remark in or a sarcastic remark in. You know what I mean? Correct, Banksy. You're right. Just chill. Yeah. You know, I just don't get it. You know, there's loads of streams on every night, and there's lots of them doing stuff that I'm not into. But I'd never type in the chat and say, what a load of rubbish this is. You know what I mean? Everybody has different interests. Walter, ever watch TikTok Milkman? No, I haven't, no. I never watch TikTok. I actually don't do TikTok. Yeah, there's loads of stuff people don't like. I mean, I don't expect people to like trains, but, you know, just move on to a different stream. Correct. Some people are though, and I just find it bizarre, you know. And one thing they all have in common, and I find this on panels, all the ones that are saying all the nasty stuff, you never see them on camera. Never. They all hide. Hello, 1058. This is my serene time. Yes, correct. Yeah, they never show their faces, these nasty people on these panels. They always hide behind their logos. Type nasty stuff in chat and leave them to it. Not my thing, I'm afraid. Go on YouTube. I like to go on YouTube. I go on loads of panels, but I like to have a good laugh and a bit of banter, you know, good crack and a bit of banter, not nasty stuff. I feel like YouTube has turned into a place now where everybody's trying to pull somebody up on something, you know what I mean? There are always lots of these streams now, you know, the minute that somebody comes on a panel, there'll be somebody there trying to pull them up on something and criticise, and all they want to do is argue. And I was watching one last night, and they were arguing. There were like 6 of them arguing, and I just thought, couldn't tell a word anybody was saying. It just got ridiculous. Well, this is madness. I just thought you really need to, I don't know, take stock of what you're doing when that's all you do is just argue on YouTube all day. Correct. That's what it's about, Jeanette. I mean, you look, when we are every Saturday, when is it? Saturday and Monday night, we have a good laugh and there's no nastiness, no nothing. But yeah, I watch these other panels on the dark side, as we call it, and you've just got people who don't show their faces, insulting other people, then trying to drag them down all the time, and yeah, and just it's just terrible. It's awful. You know, if they put that energy that they put into being nasty into good things, they'd be really good people. You know what I mean? They must literally wake up in the morning and think, right, who can I annoy today? Who can I insult today? And oh Jesus. Hello, Errolflix, 1686. How we doing? Some nice big white clouds here now, as you can see. Make a great time lapse now, that view, you know. Yeah, well, I'm the same, Jeanette, you know. One bad move, one bad word, and that's it. You're gone. We don't need it. Correct. You're right, Banksy. That's it. You know. I watched the guy last night, night before. It might have been today. There's a guy on YouTube. You'll know who I mean as well, probably. And he just sits there in his living room, live, and every other person on his panel is just arguing with each other. I'm thinking, what's all that about? It's crazy. And I'm thinking, well, he's getting views and everybody else are getting him. They're all falling out. You'll have 5 or 6 people on his panel all falling out, men and women, all same faces as well every time. There's always common denominator. That's one thing I've learnt about YouTube. All these panels where they're falling out, there's always common denominators. The same names keep coming up on the panels and popping in, and it's always the same names. You know what I mean? And I just think, yeah, what you call them, the the common denominator all the time. And this guy's just sat there not saying a word, and everybody else is arguing, and he's got like 100 odd people watching. And I thought, yeah, you've got it sus you sit there with your watching TV. Well, the guy who runs it, he has his camera on, but the rest of them don't, and he just sits there watching television while everybody else falls out. And it goes on for hours. It's not just 2 minutes, hours. Then you've got the other aspect of YouTube, which to me YouTube should put a stop to, in my opinion. If anybody here from YouTube's listening, not that you are, but in my opinion, the ability to restream somebody else's panel, or to clip and rebroadcast their comment, you know, their part, you know what I mean, clip and put it back on. That should be outlawed as far as I'm concerned on YouTube. Just out and out outlawed. This restreaming of panels, it should not be allowed. YouTube just should stop it straight away. And this recording somebody else's content and then putting it up, because I noticed there's some channels just that's all the content is just recordings of other people's stuff, and restreaming that, in my opinion, should be stopped. Hello, Base Out Official. Base Out Official. Yeah, I'm on the West Coast Main Line near Preston. Yeah, that should be just totally outlawed, should that, in my opinion. YouTube's, to me, is about making your own stuff, not just clipping somebody else's and rebroadcasting it. It's just ridiculous, you know. And there's too much of it, and this restreaming, I think, is just absolutely ridiculous. Excellent, Base Out Official. Yeah, the restreaming is just ridiculous, you know, and it's happening every single day, every night, and I watch people, I just think, oh my God, can you not think of anything proper to do, you know, just, if you, it's just ridiculous, you know, it shouldn't be allowed. So one thing I'm dead against is that, you know, that you can just clip somebody else's content. You know, you only see it when people are arguing, you know what I mean? And they do it when people are arguing. They don't clip decent content that it's just interesting. They just clip where people are falling and arguing. There's a lot of channels, you know who they are, who just rebroadcast people arguing and falling out. And I just think, oh, it's ridiculous, you know. And that and restreaming drives me bonkers, and it puts me off going on panels, certain panels, because I know there's a chance that you're going to be clipped to restream. So you know, you stay away from them, because you know there's a good chance you're going to end up being clipped. What can we do? That's the way it is, I'm afraid. On the YouTube, you can complain, because I watched somebody do it other night. There was a guy on the other night, I don't know where he were, but the guy who was restreaming him was somewhere up Cumbria way, and the other guy, I didn't know who these two people were, and he actually, while they were restreaming him, did a copyright something or other straight to YouTube, and YouTube did knock the other guy's restream off and ended it, which I thought was pretty good. And I didn't know you could do that. He actually did it live on air and said, look, I know you're restreaming me, so watch this. And he went ding, 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 and tapped a few buttons. Yeah, correct, Banksy. I got a train video of me, a short, pulled down, well, it was one day last week. Can you believe that? Because of copyright, and it was because a car drove past me in the background and it had loud music on it, and it was only on at the start of the video for a tenth of a second or so, and they removed the short because of it, which I thought was bizarre. They tried to make good copyright playing music and all the other. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Hello, random guy, how we doing? You know, it's sad to watch, really, and they're all at it late at night. That is all they do, is fall out with each other. Just fall out, and they're trying to one-up each other all the time, and oh God, I just think, what on earth? What is the problem? Long time no see, yeah. It's not often I put chat on random because, to be honest, I get better views when I have the chat off. You know what I mean? But I thought I'll put it on today. Bank holiday Monday. I thought it's going to be a bit quiet anyway. And yesterday I was going to come, but there was a bad fatality at Chorley Station, so most of the afternoon trains yesterday were cancelled. TikTok Milkman is a live stream whilst on his early morning round at 2 a.m. starting Conway. Good laugh. And is that just on TikTok, Walter, or is it on YouTube as well? Yeah, it's just weird. I don't get the music one, me. I don't get it, Banksy. There's, like you said, there's channels that permanently play music, never a problem. And yet I had a car drive past me in background. Just for a split second, it was Adele because it came up on the copyright why the video had been removed. Adele chasing pavements, just driving past me in a car. You know what I mean? And thinking, how can that be? But anyway, it got took down. I mean, it was only a short. I weren't bothered about it, you know. But they removed it, and yet you will go on YouTube any time of day, and there'll be somebody permanently playing music, and I just think, how can this be? You know, what's allowed and what isn't? The rules are so sloppy and sloshy. You don't know what, you know. It's such a grey area, isn't it? I take it Walter, the guy, the TikTok milkman, is purely on TikTok, is he? Yeah. Well, then they can't touch you, then, can you? It's your own stuff. They can't touch you. I've listened to some of your music, and it's pretty good. That, especially that one. You played one a few weeks ago that I really liked, and I'd have to look back on your channel to remind myself of what it were, because it's a track I really like, and you'd sort of mixed it up a bit. But I take it the TikTok milkman is only on TikTok, is he, Walter? See, I don't do TikTok. I've had a go at it, but I couldn't find. I felt it roll a little bit. Hello, Chris. How we doing? Set my Apex 5-inch on fire. Oh well, fire. You need to run it through YouTube first, right? Got you. Hello, Antu Sioto. How we doing? How's life in Indonesia? Yeah, I've never heard of anybody setting a drone on fire. You know what I mean? That's a new one on me. Is that, Chris? Was it in the sky when it went up in flames, or was it back on ground when it burst into flames? Hello. The oh God, I'm going to take a bit of saying. Deny didn't wish. Hello there, Denian West Warpacker. I can't say her name, but hello there. Diane Ash Warpacker. Yeah. This is not a drone, it's a UFO. Yeah. Crashed it into the ceiling, hit the floor, set it on fire when it hit the floor. Oh, fire. Must have been the LiPo battery that went. Hello, Antosiyoto. Are you going to build another, Chris? This is what we want to know. This is a dollar question. Are you going to build another? It made a good video of that, wouldn't it? If it caught on fire while you're up in air with it, like a fireball flying around. Problem is, you won't be able to record it because camera's on damn drone, isn't it? I think it's the what's it called? ESC. What's the ESC? Electronic Stabilizer Control, maybe? I don't know, I'm just guessing. Glad to see nobody's ripped my stickers down off this bench yet. Hey up, what's this that's coming? We've got an oddity coming. Class 37. Light engine with, oh, it's a coreless rail, class 37. I've never seen that before. I've never even heard of that company. That will definitely be converted into a short, whatever it were. No, I couldn't even read I couldn't even tell what the company were. Then it said sheet something on the side of it. An Obi-Wan Cobbin and Kenobi. Yeah, it were. I don't know what that were. I've never seen that company before. It said rail services sheet something on the side. We're a class 37. I know what it was, but I've never heard of it. In fact, I'll just have a look on the map because it'll be on the map. No, it's no head code. I found it on the map, but no information. All it were was 0Z38. Not much use. Some dark clouds, yeah. I don't think it's going to rain. Just because there is sun breaking through. Hello, Bill Allgood. How are we doing? can tell you that train is going to Barrow Furnace. No yawning allowed, no. Yeah, I've got Nod Mod here, so we're safe. Hello, Peter Caruthers. How are we doing? Oh, a train. Yes, that's generally what you find on railway tracks. Sweet Tesca, they make those engineers rail equipment, tamping, rail grinding, etc. I've seen the rail grinder here one night, and it were pretty spectacular to watch, I'll tell you. It were I were at the station, and it were night time, and wow, what a load of sparks and stuff flew off that thing. We're only doing about 15 mile an hour, but whew, what a sight. And them tampers, they're pretty impressive to watch. I've seen them a few times, and it's pretty amazing. They like hooks come down, lift the rail and the sleepers up. Then these two like hammerheads come down either side of each sleeper, vibrate like hell, so the ballast rebeds itself, and then it lowers the rail back down and the sleeper. It's amazing to watch. It's one of them things you can't imagine it until you see it. Pretty unbelievable. I have to do a bit of plugging in on me. Whoops. What's going on here? Got a bit of power into my tablet that I'm viewing on. I'm actually surprised how busy it is. Yeah, it settles the ballast. It lifts the rails up, grabs hold of them, these like forks, and then these two things come down the sides, vibrate like hell, shuffle all ballast around, and then it lowers the rail back down and bangs it with like a hydraulic hammer thing. It does about sort of like a 5 metre stretch, probably about a 3 metre stretch at a time, then it moves on, does it again and again and again. Because obviously over years, the rails must settle. See, on this track nearest to us, on the camera, the slow tracks, the two tracks that are nearest to the camera, the very nearest one on the left there's still wooden sleepers, amazingly enough. Solid rails, but wooden sleepers. It surprises me that they've They've changed the rails. No, I haven't, no. No, I've never seen that water. I would imagine it would have to be a beast as well to lift points up. Yeah. Yeah, I've sat here loads of times and I've never noticed that the actual sleepers are still wooden on this track that's nearest to the camera. I thought they were all concrete. You know, they've replaced the rails. You know, it's one continuous rail. There's no joins, but yet still on wooden sleepers. The other three tracks are definitely concrete sleepers. There's just the first track here. Wood. Hello, Toadmore 14. How are we doing? I need to devise some gadget to hold this tablet while I'm sat in car. Need to invent something. You know what I mean? Oh, God. It's alright when you're not charging it up, because you don't, but when you've got the lead plugged in, you're more restricted to where you can put it. You get me there? Yeah, I'm just surprised that they've gone to trouble to swap the rails for one continuous rail, but yet not change the sleepers. What do I know? Yeah, I'll look out for him, Walter, the TikTok milkman. You're going for your nanny nap? Okay, Jeanette, I'll see you later on tonight. 9 p.m. We will be there. Catch you later, Jeanette. Watched one in action at Colton, York, lifting points for cleaning, servicing, replacing. Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable. The most impressive video I think I've watched on YouTube, well, I've watched a couple, but one of them is when they replaced the flying arches at Chorley, and that's on there on YouTube, like in a time-lapse format, because obviously them arches at Chorley were listed, so they couldn't just do away with them. So they had to dismantle them, take photographs, dismantle everything brick by brick, and rebuild them exactly the way they were dismantled. And all they did is, because when they electrified the line, the arches were too low, they didn't have the clearance. So they dismantled each arch individually and basically put them back, but higher up. But they put like steel arches underneath and built the arch on top, you know what I mean? And there is a video on YouTube about that if you search flying arches Chorley. Pretty impressive. It's like a Network Rail video, I think, or it's might have been Stobart Rail that did it, I can't remember. Wanted to, but I've watched the video on that. I've also watched the one that they did over Christmas where they replaced the bridges at up Cumbria near Shap. They replaced the motorway bridge there, and that's a pretty impressive video to watch. Lifting like a full motorway bridge in position in one do. Unbelievable. The cranes they had, you've never seen anything like it. They were flipping proper cranes. They had like 200 wheels on each crane. There's a guy there with a little remote control steering it all wirelessly. A bloody motorway bridge in position. Unbelievable. Oh yeah, there's some stuff nowadays. They do for sure. Quite a lot of hurdles when they electrified that line from Manchester down to West Coast Main Line, you know, through Chorley and Adlington and all that lot. Lots of little bridges and tunnels that they had to play with and alter. Amazes me now, I mean, the stuff they can do nowadays regarding building and stuff, but yet everything they build is so damned ugly. And yet hundreds of years ago, when they didn't have the equipment, everything they built looked so nice. Now everything is just so ugly. They build new buildings that are ugly, they're horrible, they're almost Soviet looking, some buildings, you know what I mean? They're just horrible. And back in there, when they didn't have JCBs, diggers, cranes and everything, they built magnificent buildings. Baffles me. Hello, Aussie Jace, how are we doing? How's life in Australia? Presuming that you're in Australia. What's with the small picture and needles chit chat? I don't know what you mean. Small picture and needles chit chat. What? Needless chit chat. Small picture and needless chit chat. Did you miss the train yet? No. Well, one's just this second come through. So I'm just dealing with this idiot. Seen it, engine made during today, unbelievable. Did you see the video? Replacing the bridge from Doncaster Station to Kosovo. Went to Saudi after that job. Excellent. Correct. Oh, yeah, he's moved on all right. I've just kicked him out. I won't mind, but when he made the comment, nobody had spoken for ages. So I don't know what the hell you're on about. What a clown. I checked his channel out, absolutely zero. And he, to be fair, he was totally needless in its entirety, but there you go. You can't fix daft, can you? Daft is non-repairable. Yeah, give a boot. Correct. It's a bit quiet at the moment. Oh, there's a Pendolino approaching. You can see it on the map. There's absolutely nothing in Preston Station at the moment. I'm just looking on diagram for Preston. There's only 2 trains in the whole station out of all them platforms. Only 2 trains. There's one Glasgow Central to Euston approaching us now on the farthest track. Very quiet. To be fair though, it's been considering it's a bank holiday Monday, it's actually been busier than I expected today. Oh, it's not a Pendolino, it's Transpennine. They amaze me, Walter. It absolutely amazes me. It really does. What they can do nowadays. I just wish they'd make things look nicer. You know, they've got the gear, but they don't seem to make things look nice. I mean, they did a good job of them flying arches because they had to do. Because they were listed, so they had to go back and look the same. But, you know. One of the nicest railway stations in this country, is, without a shadow of a doubt, is Huddersfield. That is something else, is that Huddersfield station. Wowee. Yeah, well, there's just some stuff. It amazes me when they built Channel Tunnel, you know, when they met in the middle and they actually met in right place. I'm thinking, you know, amazing. They got it to like in 10 millimeters, you know, when they met. You know, pretty good engineering that. It's hard to imagine now. It's been there for 30 years now, Channel Tunnel, 31 years. Unbelievable. Doesn't seem 2 minutes since that were built. I've still never been through it. Yeah, it's unbelievable. I mean, I haven't seen it for a few years. It's about, God, when did I go? About 2015 when I last went to Huddersfield Station. Because I actually went on the train from Manchester, and I was impressed with that station. I thought, wow, what an impressive building this is for such a, you know, just a run of the mill station. You know, unbelievable. Very impressive. There's a lot of stations though, I suppose, that are nice. I mean, obviously the ones in London, some of them are nice. King's Cross is nice, but and Paddington, but outside of there, things start to get a bit dodgy. Most of them now are just platforms with bus shelters. I mean, the station in my hometown, that were a nice station. It had all tiled walls and go Rangers. Go Rangers, wrong stream. Take it Rangers are winning. Oh, they're playing, they're playing, oh God, what are they called? I forgot what they're called. How's it going, Irish Train Spotter? Oh, who are they playing today, Rangers? I saw there a clip on news about it. Oh, it's just gone out of my head. Gone out of my head. Yeah, I went to, last time I went to Huddersfield Station, it was about 2015, and I only went because Jeremy Clarkson, I don't even remember, on Top Gear, made it famous. Not Huddersfield Station, but the line from Manchester to Huddersfield, because he said that every station had a pub next to it that sold real ale for all these real ale fans. I mean, I'm not a real ale fan, but anyway. So it's become quite a bit of a tourist run as that now, Manchester Victoria to Huddersfield. People go on it and they hop off at each station, have a drink, and then dive back on next train, and it's become a bit of a thing, and quite common with stag parties and hen parties and fancy dresses, and to the point where the trains are policed now, you know what I mean, because obviously there's a lot of drunken people on late at night, and it's all because of Jeremy Clarkson, who happened to go on the train and mention how good it were that every station had a pub next to it that sold real ale, and it caught on, and it's a real busy run now, is that, from Victoria to Huddersfield. When I went, there were loads of people in different fancy dress. It's about 10-15 years ago now. The whole section from Leeds to Manchester being returned, the lot, stations, track, etc. Right. Yeah, they put a double track in near me, where I live, and yet nothing's happened to it. They built a double track. It used to be double donkeys years ago. When Beeching come along, it got cut to single track, and then for some reason a couple of years ago they put the double track back, but yet nothing's happened. You know what I mean? It's not with any extra trains or anything. It's just they doubled it. I don't know why they did it, and nothing's happened. No extra trains or anything. But only did part of it. So obviously they had to fit extra points and stuff, and then don't put any extra trains on or anything. I just don't understand it. First pull on the route, Staley Bridge, yeah. Hello, Transport Lucas, how are we doing? That's better. Jackets are spud with cheese. Cheese and beans, excellent. I think you're trying to make a claim for the second. It's a good way from the platform, yeah. Hello. Hi, Hammer, how are we doing? I don't know, Lazo Medic. Be one along shortly. Hello, Trithac channel. Hello, David Buses. How are we doing? British, yes, correct. Hello, Nova. Affit. How are we doing? Well, the sun is out, the sky is blue. Hello, Damien Daly. How are we doing? Damien or Daly? How's it going? It's been okay. Work has been killing me, but then that's the way. But the other, then that's been okay. How have you been? I'm fine, thanks, Damien. Fine. Glad to hear it, Damien. Hello, Lock folks. How are we doing? Lock folks. Hello, Seashell. Here comes a... don't know what it is, can't tell. Oh, it's a Northern, looks like a 195. I don't have a favourite train really. Blimey, that must have been confusing. That was a 195, that. Come from Windermere, I think. Either Windermere or Barrow-in-Furness. I never saw the name on back, but it was a 195 from Lake District. Going to Manchester Airport. I'm just outside of Preston on the West Coast Main Line.